The trade war rages on, but the Russell is holding up relatively well. Let's talk about it. I'm Angela Miles with the Russell Report. This week, the Dow and S&P plunged hard on trade tensions. The small caps, though, have less exposure to some global concerns, and therefore, if you look at a chart from start to finish, the Russell really has not lost that much this week, maybe 35, 40 points or so. And once again, though, in the options market, there's some heavy put action similar to what we saw last Friday, which turned out to be a harbinger of what was to come. One of the great reasons of watching this show, right? Well, so far on the tape, there's one call trading for every 5 puts. The focus seems to be on the June weeklies expiring on June 7th at the 1410, 1415, and 1425 put strikes. There's also some activity way down there at the 1380 puts. So we're starting to see those hedges coming in the market. The Russell is down, but just slightly today, right around 1547. The RVX is up almost a point to around 19. Coming up next, we'll talk about those small caps and some shelter right after this break. Let's get some more trader talk now. I'm pulling in Paul Foster with more, and we're just checking on that straddle price. It's expected we'll see about a 2% move for next week, around 33 points, which is similar to what happened this week. So the small caps really seem to be indicating what's happening in the broader market, which I find fascinating, especially with that put activity.
Yeah, and their puts are active today. It's the May weeklies expiring next week and the June weeklies. There are some puts that are 2 to 3% of the money, which includes the 1445 puts in May and the 1445 puts also in June.
Paul, what about some calls? Are you seeing any call activity of note, or is it really strongly on that put side?
In the traditionals, 4 weeks down the road, there's some June 1550 calls that are active. And those volatilities are still up a little higher after the big sell-off.
And then what kind of activity are you seeing as far as who's coming to the market? Are these institutional players, or are they just like average Joes kind of coming in?
It's some of the retail, but some of the institution, but they're all spreaders. They all want to be owning some calls, selling the outlying calls, or even the puts, owning some downside puts with some selling some premium against it.
All right, Paul, good to have you here. Thanks so much for coming on the show. That's it for now. I'm Angela Miles. Have a great weekend, everybody.